Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, A Digital Artist in Progress. I am Ash, and this channel is all about me sharing my journey as I try to become a professional digital artist who sells their art online, starting from complete zero as a beginner. This video is going to be about my monthly goals. What did I do? Did I achieve them? What am I going to do next? And all of that. So, past, present, and future for my monthly goals. So, let's get started with a review of my June goals. So, first, I want to start this by telling you how I structure my goals. So, I create monthly themes, and then from those themes, I hone in and choose goals to focus on so that I can create tasks and daily routines to actually achieve my goals. I find it's the best mental structure for me to start broad and then get more and more specific so that I can actually achieve my goals at the end of the month. Most of the time this works. Sometimes I reach too far, but it does help me actually know what I need to do every day so that I can actually achieve goals and set goals that are attainable and see progress. So, with my dream of becoming a digital artist and selling my art online, I decided that I would create two sections of goals: creative goals based around my digital art journey, and then logical, practical goals based around my art business, because business is not always as fun as and creative as art can be, and art, it kind of gets dull and boring when you make it all practical. So I separated the two into digital art goals for me learning art, and then online art business goals for me actually trying to sell my art online. So let's review my goals for the month of June. My theme for my digital art journey was getting started. I think the hardest part of any journey is starting, especially since I'm trying to learn a completely new skill that's going to take a lot of time and dedication. Sometimes that thought can be overwhelming, so I just wanted to break the ice and just get started. And for that, I created 4 goals. I wanted to learn Procreate basics, take a Skillshare class on digital Zentangle art, film 4 study with me vlogs, and um, and then blog about my journey. So essentially, I wanted to learn the basics so that I can dip my toe in with Procreate, and I did that. It was really simple. I just found a YouTube tutorial that had a bunch of tips and tricks and just made me familiar with Procreate, how it works, and like the gestures that you can use. And then for as far as like actually creating art, I wanted to learn digital Zentangle art, which Zentangle art is a traditional art form based around pen and paper and structured patterns and doodles. And I wanted to learn how to do that digitally. And I found this class on Skillshare. It This teacher had like a beginners, an intermediate, and then an advanced course. I took the beginners one, which just taught me the steps in Tangle art and then taught me some tangles. And it was really fun. It was really easy. I even did it on one of my study with me vlogs so you can see it. And yeah, I did that successfully. Then the study with me vlogs, that's my accountability portion. So I want to do this task, but doing it alone can kind of make me complacent and not want to do it. So by filming myself studying and filming myself actually working, I can be held accountable by you guys and just myself, knowing that I have to show up for you guys, and for you guys to like give me support. I have to show up for the support. So that's why I created this YouTube channel. It's all of my study with me vlogs where I just work and, lean on your support to keep me accountable and to make sure that I actually do the tasks that I want in order to meet my goal. Then the fourth one was blog. Um, I don't know when, but like there was just this moment in my life where it was like, whenever you have a story, you should tell someone. And so I created the blog, A Digital Artist in Progress, where I have basically like a nice journaling series where I just go into more detail about like what I'm learning, how I'm learning it, and also I want to try to give tips and tricks and advice and just information really to other beginner digital artists who want to start a journey or just want to learn a little bit more or anything like that. And so my fourth goal was to blog about it, and really just share. So, as you can tell from my explanation, yes, I did achieve each one of those goals. I got started and I purposely made easy wins because I didn't want to demotivate myself. I wanted to be motivated to keep going. And because of that, I achieved my goals pretty quickly and I loved it. And so, yeah, I am motivated to keep going. And I met all of my digital art goals for the month of June. So, thumbs up, claps, and everything in between. Now for the second part of my goals, my online art business. So my theme for my online art business was website development. I think that every artist should have a website, but me in particular, I want my online website to be where I'm be my main platform for where I sell my art. And it's because I want to sell to my audience without my art being affected by direct competitors. On different types of marketplaces, you have to like compete with others, and I I don't know if it's a fear thing or a really good strategy or not, but I didn't want to have to compete with with my competitors or with other artists. I just wanted my audience to see my art, so I decided to have my own website. And since I already have a blog, I decided to create a subdomain just for my e-commerce shop and the e-commerce part of my business. And my goals for that were my for June. My goals were to create the subdomain, choose a theme because it's a whole other website, so I have to choose a theme, and then design and organize the homepage. And of course, as more accountability, I wanted to film some work with me vlogs and even like add a little series on my blog about it, just like the creative side and then like the practical business side of my journey. I wanted to blog about that too. So yeah. And also a bunch of relatively simple, easy wins, but I think in this case it's more important because um, building an online business requires a lot of effort. There are a lot of small details to pay attention to. So, to keep myself from being overwhelmed by all the small details, I felt like if I chose one thing to focus on, then it would help. And of course, all of the skills I learned from how to organize and design a homepage could then be translated over to, I don't know, like future listings or something else that will help my business later on because I learned that skill earlier. So, yeah. Anyways, once again, I hit this out of the park because it was a bunch of easy wins. In fact, I thought it would take me like a couple of weeks to do this, but I did it all in one work with me session for my vlog on my YouTube channel. So if you go back to, I think it's work with me 1 or 2, you can actually see me do every single one of these goals in 2 hours, which is quite amazing for me. And it really helped me know that, like, yes, I have a long journey ahead of me, but if I just buckle down and focus, it's actually not as hard to get the ball rolling as I thought it would be. So kudos to me. I have successfully hit all of my June goals, and what I think I've done is built a nice foundation for how my journey is going to progress over time. And hopefully, as I get more comfortable, my goals will get bigger, and then my growth and success will also get bigger, and I will hit the idea of being an artist who sells art online by 2024, like December 31st or whatever, pretty easily. Well, not easily. That's kind of that's kind of a stretch, but just in general, without having to worry too much about like if I'm able to do it, because I'll have confidence by then. So yeah, so those were my June goals. I hit them out of the park, and now it's time to talk about my July goals. So for July, I have a lot that I'm contending with. First off, I got started, but now I've got to build on that. So instead of focusing on like motivation, I wanted to focus on like building discipline and consistency, because that those are the traits that are going to keep me moving and help me grow. So I want to be more consistent, but I do need to still keep developing. So I did easy wins for my goals in June. So like there's still a lot that I need to tackle, and I like have scratched the surface. I didn't really like chip away at anything. So those are the ideas that came into my mind when I decided on my July theme and my July goals. So, for my digital art journey, my theme is learn and practice. So, I want to practice what I've already learned with Zentangle art, but I want to learn more. I am not a person that believes that you need to master something before you learn something else, at least in the in the realm of art and learning art. I think just to be a constant consumer of different art forms and techniques, you grow as an artist. And if you stay too focused on one thing, it just, I don't know, like, I feel like sometimes people can get lost, especially if as a beginner you don't even have like an art style yet and you don't really know what art like sings to you. You could be stuck doing something you hate. Like right now, the idea of doing portraits sounds so awful to me. I love looking at portraits, but like having to draw portraits just sucks. So I don't want to like go into learning portrait art, or like, you know, the dimensions of the face and how to sculpt eyes when and then which is something that takes years and years of practice to master, when I probably won't even like it. And that's kind of why I'm like, for my next one, I want to learn, I want to keep learning and keep practicing until I can say with confidence like, oh yeah, like this is my style, so this is what I focus on or whatever. And maybe I'll never get to that point, and maybe I'll keep jumping around, but I don't want to feel like I'm rooted to one art form just because that's where I started. However, that also doesn't mean that just because I'm learning more, it doesn't mean that I'm giving up. So, Digital Zentangle art is what I focused on in June. It's genuinely the perfect beginner art for anyone who doesn't know how to start with art. And I want to keep learning that. I loved it genuinely. It was so easy for me to make art. I don't know, like as a beginner who doesn't find themselves artistic in the like at first, a blank canvas is very scary, and Zentangle art kind of just makes it simple. Like you can't really make mistakes. Like that's kind of like one of the rules. You don't like whatever you do, it isn't a mistake. It's a happy accident or whatever. So you know, I was less intimidated to just draw things, and then on top of that, all of the tangles are pretty simple patterns and structured patterns that you can do. So yeah, I did that, and I made like a ton of pieces really simply, and I could just like dive in and focus on that. But I want to increase my skill set, so I will be learning a new art form in the month of July called Sacred Geometry. I just found a book on it in my local library, which, if you read my blog, you'll learn that the way that I learn about art is through books, because I'm a bookworm and an artist now, apparently. And it's really fun to just like go to the library and like look for some artist's book or some how-to guide and then be like, ooh, can I create that digitally? And that's what I'll be learning this month. I'll be learning about sacred geometry and how to create it digitally in Procreate. I'm super excited. Um, but then like the practice part of my goal is Zentangle art. I've only learned about like 12 to 15 tangles, and there are like over 100. So I'm just gonna keep learning new tangles and creating more digital art with that, and more digital Zentangle art and all that, because I do love it, but I don't want to get stuck with it. So like I do want to grow. And plus, I think like learning new art forms, I can learn more about Procreate and just start to take my art to the next level. That's yeah. My goals for my digital art journey are really simple. I want to practice new tangles and focus on learning some new tangles and Zentangle art. And then 2, I want to learn about sacred geometry and create it in Procreate. And then 3, I want to start being more creative in my journeys. So like a thing about Zentangle art is, even though like the composition is totally your own, you're still kind of just copying already existing tangles. It takes a lot to get to the point where you can like make your own tangles. So, and as a complete beginner, I'm definitely not there yet. But I do want to focus more on, creativity and artistry. So I want to create at least one, maybe even 2 pieces that combine what I learned and what I know with sacred geometry with these Zentangle art that I learned in June, and just kind of start like focusing on my creative journey and just, creating my own artwork as I get more and more used to, creating pieces with the idea of eventually selling them, of course, because that is the main goal. So those are my goals for my digital art journey for the month of July. Now it's time to get down to business. Literally, the theme that I have for my my online art business is shop development. So in June, I focused on just the website, getting a website up, making sure it looked pretty. But now I want to focus on my e-commerce shop itself. So I just want to basically get ready to want to have my shop ready to start selling. And yeah, it's a pretty simple theme. Very broad, but that's where my goals are coming from. So I have 4 goals. I want to set up WooCommerce on my shop subdomain, because my website is done on WordPress. 2, I want to create a business monetization plan where basically I just build my business. So I created, and I'm going to go through I'm going to create a business plan, and then I want to focus on just the monetization part, where I think about what it is that I want to sell and how I'm going to sell that. And then 3, I want to learn how to create a product. Well, not learn how to, but I want to create a product. Even if I don't actually end up selling it, I kind of just want to get it out of the way early of learning the whole process of creating a product. And then 4, I want to add that product to my shop. So I want to learn how to create a listing and put it on my shop and see what that's all about. And really, um I have t- I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do, but I want to dip my toe into actually like starting a business and like being businessy. So I just want to make sure that like I know what I'm going to sell when I start selling things, and how the logistics of that works on the backside. So like how do, like, say I want to create a t-shirt, like, well, how do I create a t-shirt? And then like, well, if I have this t-shirt, how do I put it on my website for people to buy it? you know? And that's kind of what I'm focusing on with my shop development, is those little pieces and those steps. And then later on, when I'm actually ready to like create a collection and launch a collection, that part will be less intimidating, and it won't like keep me up until midnight trying to figure out how to get my listings online before my launch, the next day at 2 a.m. or something crazy like that. So once again, for simple but intentional goals that I believe I can achieve in the month of July, focused all on developing my shop. So there you have it. Those are my goals for the month of July for my digital art journey and my online art business. I do want to have a profitable art business by the end of the year. I don't think that'll happen, but I do know that if I work towards it with these goals and with this structure, that I will have a business that makes me money. And maybe when we come back to this in a year, it'll be profitable. But like, I really I was talking about this with my friends when I decided I wanted to do this challenge. And I said, I want to be a professional digital artist who makes money online, but I didn't say that I wanted to be like a multimillionaire. I just want to make money. So on December of 2024, I want to have said that I've made $1 in my art business online, and that, I don't know how that's going to happen. Maybe with my monetization plan, or I'll figure it out, but like, I want to have said that I've made $1, because at that point I feel like I'm officially a professional digital artist, because I've sold something, or I've resonated with somebody. My art or my art journey has told somebody like, yeah, she deserves support, and I get it. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm really excited. I'm still early, so maybe my excitement is premature, but I do believe that this is something it's gonna happen. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in August with another update and more monthly goals. Goodbye and happy creating.